Welcome back to Building Tycoon Streets. My name is Louis. I'm the CEO of Tycoon Streets Incorporated. We went live a few days ago and we missed a few major points in Tycoon Streets. So today I'm just going to give a brief overview of the entire ecosystem so that if you are a potential employee or investor or upcoming interactive participant in our ecosystem, you have a broad scope of what we are looking to achieve. The first thing you have to know is that every public location in our existing world will be a part of Tycoon Streets by default. They will arrive in our ecosystem as a tier 1 card. It is going to be colored red. When a player participates inside of our ecosystem and interacts with a tier 1 red card, they can battle for ownership of that card by participating in a mini game. The mini game has a high score function attached to it. The player with the high score at the end of every hour will become the new owner of that property. At the end of the 24 hours, whoever the owner is will receive rent from the game at the valuation that they hold in their digital wallet. Tier 2 cards are going to be slightly different than I recently explained. A tier 2 card that is orange means that a partner of ours has joined the ecosystem and they are visible and you can go there to participate in owning the specific node at that location, the property card. Now, if the tier 2 card is yellow, that means that the partner is a full participant of Tycoon Streets. You can order goods and services and buy digital assets from that particular location. The important thing about the tier 2 cards is based on the card's location, the participant inside of our ecosystem, the player, will be able to interact with it in very particular manners. For example, our first partner, Boricua Bites, they are a Puerto Rican food restaurant here in the city of Springfield, located on State Street, right across from American International College. They are going to be a yellow tier 2 card because they already have full access to our ecosystem. You can buy goods and services from there. You can interact in public events there, and you can buy digital assets from that particular location. One of our major hubs recently signed up as our partner. The Quick Pick on Bay Street, across the street from Central High School, is going to be one of our major hubs. At all of the surrounding locations that sell digital assets, all of those digital assets can be acquired by visiting those particular locations. But if you are visiting Circle K, which is a gas station, and it has a chicken, fast food chicken spot inside, their card is going to be slightly different. You're still going to be able to battle for ownership of that location, like every other location, but you will also have the ability to buy accessories from our surrounding locations. So for a quick example, if you're at Boricua Bites and you want to buy a digital hat accessory for your character from Boricua Bites, you can acquire it there. But then if you go to Iona's Kitchen and you want to buy a hoodie from Iona's Kitchen for your character, you can buy that there. If you go to the Quick Pick gas station, you can get accessories from all of the surrounding locations. Our Tier 3 cards are going to be green. They hold the most function inside of our ecosystem. If you're at an educational institution, the Tier 3 cards will spawn as a team's roster card. For example, if there is a football game tomorrow, along the side of the football field, Tier 3 green roster cards will spawn. When you tap on one of them, it will show the player's image, name, stats, and vital information like pictures and videos from that particular event. If the quarterback scores a touchdown with assistance of another player, both of those players' roster cards will have the footage and images that belong to that particular play attached to those cards. 50% of all the revenue for all sports cards are going back to the particular team in question. Regardless if you are a youth sports organization, middle or high school organization, or college sports or pro sports organization, 50% of the revenue will go back to your team and you have zero inventory to manage. Another function of the Tier 3 card at an educational institution is our hide and seek function. The library at the educational institution will have the ability to give you access to special functions and features at that particular location. There will also be a mascot hide and seek function that will spawn Tier 3 cards inside of the geo zone of the college campus or educational institution. Those cards, if collected in the given time frame, will give the player special abilities for a specific amount of time. Another function of the Tier 3 cards at an educational institution is our assisted tour mechanism. Unlike the hide and seek function where 10 cards randomly spawn inside of the geo zone and the player will get clues on where to find them, our tour system, assisted tour system, will work as a domino effect. When a player makes it to the beginning of the tour, which will eventually start at the administrative building of that educational institution, they will be taken to all of the relevant locations on campus through a walking tour, and that walking tour will act as a domino effect. So when you reach point A, interact with point A, complete the interaction with point A, point B will then spawn and it will assist you to make your way to point B, and so on until you complete the entire tour of that geo-zoned location. If you are at a theme park, the Tier 3 cards will spawn at all of the queue lines for every ride and at all of the carnival games at that particular park. You can interact in the queue line with other players by participating in a minigame. The player of that particular minigame will receive something from the park. For example, a free line hopper, a free drink, a free plushed animal, whatever it is that they deem to give away as a reward. If you are at a casino and you are experiencing the Tier 3 card mechanism at that location, you will have the ability to interact with the casino's already existing gambling portal. And for example, if you want to play blackjack, but the blackjack table is full, instead of wasting your time or going to another table or getting discouraged and leaving the property, you have the ability to stand inside the geo zone of the particular table that you want to interact with, and a portal will unlock to MGM's existing website, and you will have the ability to interact with the table as if you were there sitting down. Although, if you walk away from the table and remove yourself from the geo zone, access to the gambling mechanism will be disabled. Or not the gambling mechanism, access to the gambling portal will be disabled. If you are at a zoo, a museum, a place of leisure, our tour system will be enabled at those locations. Our hide and seek function will also be enabled at those locations. If there are any restaurants at those locations, they will show up as a tier 2 card, because all tier 2 cards are partners of our ecosystem. If you are big into philanthropy, giving to others, or if you own a nonprofit and you are looking to raise funds, you can utilize our tier 4 card system. Our tier 4 card system will be blue. In the 1980s, there was something called Hands Across America, where prominent individuals in our society got together and raised money from every location from New York all the way to California. I created a similar function that's called North Star. North Star will allow tier 4 cards to spawn at every major location, in every major transportation hub, and anywhere that a nonprofit chooses to place a designated tier 4 card. And they can raise money from Alaska all the way to Panama, Mexico. This is important because if you own a nonprofit organization, you can host your organization inside of our ecosystem, and you will receive 80% of the funds raised for that particular fundraiser. Our tier 5 card system. If you ever used Airbnb, Traveling Pros, or a website for students to rent dorms or places to stay near their campus, if you ever used Turo to rent a vehicle, we have created our own rental platform. You can host a vehicle or a place to sleep in our platform, and our participants may interact with that location in renting your space or renting your vehicle. Now, let me go back and recap our card system. Our tier 1 card system will spawn at every known public location in the entire world. Regardless what country you're in, Google Maps already did the hard work and acquired the locations for every public known location that we know to exist. When any of those locations become a partner of the Tycoon Streets ecosystem, the card will automatically upgrade to a tier 2 card. Now this is important because the tier 1 card upgrading to the tier 2 card adds functionality to that location. If you are interacting with a tier 1 card, the only ability that you will have is to interact in a mini game to gain ownership of that particular property. If the property has been upgraded to a tier 2 card, you can then interact with that property in a more defined manner by ordering goods, services, or whatever it may be that that location is offering. The tier 3 card mechanism is very in-depth and particular to the location you are visiting. I forgot to mention earlier that the tier 3 card mechanism will also spawn at places of transportation. If you are at an airport sitting at a gate waiting for your flight to board, you can interact with the minigame at that tier 3 card location. There will be a geo zone similar to the geo zone for the casino and similar to the geo zone for the theme parks that you can interact at your particular gate. If you leave the gate area, you no longer have access to interact in the minigame. Based on the specific gate you are standing at, the airline in participation with Tycoon Streets will be giving the player something of value, whether it be airline miles, a priority boarding, a free check bag. You will gain something of value for participating in Tycoon Streets. In our tier 4 card mechanism, you will be able to donate to any nonprofit organization that is partnered with Tycoon Streets. Remember, 80% of the funds raised will go back to the particular organization. That is huge because the industry standard is way below 50%. 50% of the revenue that is generated at any one of our partnered locations for our tier 2 and tier 3 card mechanisms will automatically go back to that organization. If you are a restaurant or a business owner in the city of Springfield or anywhere in the world to be exact, you can go to tycoonstreets.com, you can fill out a form, pay the monthly subscription, and within seconds, your tier 1 card at your location will upgrade to a tier 2 card, giving you functionality to participate inside of our ecosystem in a very broad manner. For the tier 5 cards, you will have the ability to either put something up for rent or rent something inside of our ecosystem. Gold coins. Gold coins are the life of our game. When you first start, you're going to start off with 500 gold coins. If you invite another player to our ecosystem, when they reach particular milestones, you will be awarded gold coins for inviting that player and for that player leveling up inside of our ecosystem. Gold coins can be purchased at our partnered locations, and these gold coins can be acquired for free once every 24 hours based on the tier cards that you have in your digital wallet. If you are the owner, due to the high score of that particular tier card, the game will automatically add up how much gold coins the cards are worth, and you will receive 10% once every 24 hours for the cards you have a deed to inside of your wallet. This is important because you can visit a location like Boricua Bites and acquire that tier 2 card inside of your wallet, but at the bottom of the card, the deed owner's username will be present. So only the deed owner will receive a bonus at the end of every 24 hours, like collecting a rent from our ecosystem. Gold coins are extremely important. I can't stress that enough because Once a player reaches level 100, I programmed it so it takes approximately 1 year to do so. You can then convert your gold coins into Tycoon Streets coin. Now, Tycoon Streets coin is a legal tender. Every partner that joins our ecosystem is agreeing to accept Tycoon Streets coin as legal tender for goods and services at their locations. When a player reaches level 100 inside of the ecosystem, they will be able to take their gold coins and convert them into Tycoon Streets coin, our fiat currency, our cryptocurrency, regardless what kind of name you want to add to it. It's a utility coin that cannot be withdrawn from our ecosystem by a player or participant. Only partnered entities, like for example, Boricua Bytes. If you have gold coins and you reach level 100 and you convert some of those gold coins into Tycoon Streets coin, you can then go to a location like Boricua Bytes and buy things like a Acapulco, a Tripleta, a Malta, and you can use your Tycoon Streets coin to purchase those goods and services without using any other type of currency. So while you're participating for the first year in our ecosystem in acquiring gold coins, you're building up your bank, because eventually you'll be able to convert those non-usable tokens into a usable token where our partners will accept. Now, the owner of Boricua Bytes will have the ability to either use those Tycoon Streets coin for their monthly subscription or withdraw them to fiat currency to replenish the goods and services at their particular location. Now, you can use your Tycoon Streets coin at different locations to acquire assets. For example, if you want to buy a hat for your character at the Quick Pick in Springfield, you can use our TSC, Tycoon Streets coin, to acquire that specific accessory for your character. Assuming that hat is a Boricua Bytes hat and you bought it at the Quick Pick, the next time you visit Boricua Bytes, if your character is wearing the Boricua Bytes hat, you're automatically going to receive a discount at that particular location. The discount is going to be manipulated by the owner of the location. For example, if Boricua Bytes wants to sell digital hats, and anybody that acquires a digital hat for their character, that digital hat will give them a particular valuation of a discount and a amount of times they can use that discount within a given window, so people don't abuse the system. If you are a business owner and you want to invite other business owners, you will receive a Tycoon Streets partner coin. If Business A invites Business B to our ecosystem, Business B remains in the ecosystem for at least 2 billing cycles. Business A will receive one of our partner tokens. The partner tokens can be redeemed 3 times per 12-month cycle, and those 3 times cannot be continuous. You cannot use 2 tokens 2 months in a row. Also, if you invite another business and they remain in the business for 6 months, you will receive another token to utilize in the future to cover your own monthly subscription fee. Educational institutions and sports organizations will have a similar marketing model. If you invite another organization or institution into our ecosystem based on their participation in the ecosystem, institution or organization A will receive a token, a Tycoon Streets partner token that they can utilize to cover their monthly subscription value, dissimilar to what I just explained for regular businesses. Last week, I went live, just like we are live right now, and we forgot a few things. We forgot to talk about the grocery store or market model. Now, I'm going to use Stop and Shop as an example because I'm already in talks with the CEO of Stop and Shop to try and get them to join our ecosystem. This is important because if you have children and you take your children shopping with you, Tycoon Streets has a mechanism to keep your child busy while you are shopping. Assuming you are at your location of choice, you will have the ability to allow your child to play mini games that are relevant to that particular aisle, acquiring them a coupon every time they participate in a mini game. The coupon will be relevant to that aisle. For example, if you are buying milk and your child is playing a game that is relevant to that milk aisle, they will receive a coupon relevant to the products in that aisle. So when you go to check out, you can utilize the coupon the same way as if you're going to acquire the coupons now in a physical manner or loading them onto your membership card in a digital manner. Tycoon Streets took it and merged it into a lot of other functions for that location. If you're going to the bakery, the deli, floral, or even customer service or the meat department, you can order particular things from those departments. Also the pharmacy, and the pharmacy as well. You can order particular things from those departments and have them readily available when you reach those areas of the market. If you're going to Stop and Shop and you want to pick up your prescription and you want to pick up some bread from the bakery and you want to acquire a few things from the center aisles, all of that experience will take place inside of Tycoon Streets. If you have a child, it will keep them busy. If you don't have a child, the utility is still extremely helpful. You can order things from the deli or the bakery or the floral department and not have to stand and wait around for them to become ready for you. The game will automatically send you a notification whenever your goods are ready to be acquired. Another particular function that I skipped over on accident the last time we were live is the ability for players to use a drone inside of Tycoon Streets. This digital drone will act as your character when you are moving about the world. I wanted to take into consideration persons who have limited abilities. If you can't get up and walk around inside of the real world or move around freely, I created a function where you can use a drone, stop at particular locations to refuel that drone, and continue to move about the world independently without leaving the comfort of your physical location. Now, this is important because if you fly your drone to a specific location, the drone will remain there. It will not automatically return to your location. This keeps players from farming the game. It also allows persons who are actually moving around in the game the same ability and same functionality as a person who is actually not physically moving around inside of Tycoon Streets ecosystem. We have a 5-card mechanism. Every card has a particular functionality. We have a gold coin mechanism and a Tycoon Streets coin token mechanism. Now, how are you going to interact with the mini games in the ecosystem? Once per day, you will receive 2 dice. You roll those dice inside of the game, and depending on the sum of the 2 dice, that's how many times you can participate in mini games inside of the Tycoon Streets ecosystem to keep a restriction from people farming the game unlimitedly. If you run out of moves, you can stop at one of our partnered locations and either acquire gold coins, you can acquire energy for your drone, you can acquire dice rolls to participate in mini games, and you can acquire accessories that work as smart contracts for particular locations. Tycoon Streets is an extremely in-depth ecosystem. It's a super app that takes in all of the existing parts of our economy globally and merges them into one smoothly working competitive utility application. I'm looking for investors. I'm looking for staff. I'm looking for players. We have all 3, but we need more. If you know somebody that can code, if you know somebody that loves app and web development, send them our way. If you know somebody that has children that play sports, or that has children that they have to take grocery shopping with, invite them to our ecosystem. If you know a student who is an athlete, or if you just know any athlete in general, they have a home in our ecosystem. Every athlete that is represented by a roster card, our tier 3 roster card system, will automatically receive a minted version of that card. Now, let me backstep a little bit. When a player reaches level 100, they unlock the ability to turn their gold coins into the Tycoon Streets coin token. At that same time, they will unlock a function to forge their own NFTs from our tier 3 card system. So if you own sports cards from your favorite players or your children, you can turn them into an NFT, a non-fungible token. We will also be hosting our own market where you can buy, sell, and trade those NFTs. Similar to baseball cards and basketball cards of the physical form, these cards will be of the digital form. They will also allow you abilities in the ecosystem at a later time. For example, if you own all of the roster cards for a particular team, the following season you will automatically receive a discount when acquiring cards again. If you collect all of the cards for that season once again, the discount will continue to roll over. The discount will not gain value, like you can't get a higher discount, but you will receive the same discount year after year as long as you continue to collect all of the cards for that particular team. Now this is how it works. If there is a football game tomorrow, the first football game of the season, the roster cards are going to have stats from the previous season. The stats from that particular game will also be loaded up into your card within 24 hours of the game ending. There will be videos, pictures, statistics about the game, all attached to that particular card. Now, you will not be able to purchase the card after the card has been removed from the ecosystem. For example, tomorrow we are at a football game. All of the roster cards have spawned. Somebody purchases one of the cards. Another person does not purchase one of their cards. The very next day, the person that didn't purchase the cards will have to either acquire the card from the person that did purchase the card, or wait until the next game and then acquire the card. The difference is, card A that was purchased by the player at the first game will have all of the relevant stats and content from that game. Player 2 that didn't purchase a card at that first game but did purchase a card at the second game will have a card with all of the relevant content and data from that particular game. So if you want cards of a particular player for every single game, you will have the ability to do so. The cards will not automatically update for future games. They will only be updated for the game in question. So if you buy a card from a player for a game that happens tomorrow, well then the game next week, you will not automatically gain access to that card for the next week. You will have to purchase it like you did to the card for game 1. This creates a mechanism so that teams can fundraise without having zero inventory or putting up any of their players' time and energy. Now all of our sports teams inside of our ecosystem can focus on sports and forget about fundraising, because Tycoon Streets takes care of all of the fundraising for them. All they need to do is invite their fans, invite their friends, invite their family to our ecosystem, show off their roster card that they acquire for free, and educate their fans on how they can utilize those cards in the future. And don't forget to thank your fans for participating in Tycoon Streets and helping the fundraising process for your particular team in question. Today, I believe I touched on every subject. I did leave a couple points out the last time we went live, but today we touched on almost every single subject that I have in mind. I don't have any notes. I'm not reading a script from a teleprompt. I'm standing here talking to you from my inner mind. Everything that I'm saying exists already. Tycoon Streets has its own domain. We are working on publishing the application. We have staff, investors, and players. We are looking to build our global ecosystem. And if you want to join us, now is the time. This coming Friday, I'm going to be selling shares to an investor for $1 per share. They're getting 6 figures worth of shares. And once that transaction is complete, nobody will ever be able to purchase shares of Tycoon Streets for $1 ever again. So if you contact me prior to our next major transaction, you will receive shares at less than $1. But once our major transaction has been complete, that ability will no longer exist. Buy now, don't wait until later. Getting 1,000 shares at 50 cents a piece is a lot better than getting 1,000 shares at $1 a piece. I have a solid prediction that in approximately 4 to 5 years from right now, Tycoon Streets is going to offer its public initial offering, our initial public offering, our IPO, is going to be for $500 per share. Why? Because we are moving in a rapid manner. We are growing and scaling in a rapid manner. We are a global organization already. If you watch some of my previous content, you will see that I zoomed in New York, I zoomed in China. The cards are already spawning in those locations. I've never stepped foot in those locations to make that happen. Google Maps, Mapbox, Flutterfly, all of these major organizations had a hand in allowing me the opportunity and ability to create this global ecosystem. If you want to participate, like I said, now is the time. Better early than never. Share this video. Send it to your friends, your family, your grandparents, your parents. Anybody that you know will find a home inside of Tycoon Streets. Tycoon Streets Inc., our tier 5 card tier system, our gold coin system, and our Tycoon Streets coin system. It already all exists. We are waiting for the right time to launch everything. I'm in the process of finalizing our application right now. There are some bugs and glitches that are outside of my control, and I'm working through them in a professional manner. I do need assistance, somebody that can write code, somebody that knows these other fields better than I. I'm a business owner, I'm a business creator. I'm not a professional at all things. I'm equally ignorant as the next person, and I need assistance. I need a staff, I need a team. We need to get moving. Everybody that is already part of my staff or part of my team, I deeply appreciate your time and energy. And keep in mind, we are building a $1 billion empire. Billion with a B, because by the end of year 1, we're already going to surpass $2 million. So, like I said, join us now. Don't wait until it's too late.